Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. I know we're dealing with a lot of people in all different time zones. The whole point of these lives is Des and I are just going live on a regular basis in the same time slot. And all we're trying to do is we are both immigrants. We moved to New Zealand just over 3.5 years ago. And all we're trying to do is pay it forward and have these sessions to answer any questions anybody might have out there about immigrating to New Zealand. It can be about our journey or our challenges. It could be anything that is on your mind. What we're also lucky enough with is Des is a licensed immigration agent. So she can also answer any actual visa-related questions as well, which is a real win for us and a blessing. So she's here joining us to answer those questions. And then I am also a hiring manager. I've been a manager for over 15 years now, and I've had the opportunity to be able to not only be interviewed and try to find jobs for myself here in New Zealand, but I've also been on the hiring side, and I've been hiring hundreds of people here in New Zealand as well. So I can also share a lot of what I've learned works and doesn't work when you're actually looking for jobs and everything here as well. So that's really why we've teamed up, and we're trying to pay it forward and help as many of you as possible in this regular time slot. So with that, I just want to see if there's any questions. Vix, I can see you've said there, I didn't get a chance to look at the emails or my LinkedIn. It's month-end work. Finance, yeah, 100% get you. Month-end is never fun. Actually, it's not only in finance. I know I've got monthly reports and all kinds of other stuff to do as well. I know I'm even behind on some of my reports. So it's early morning for us. So it's just gone 5:30, and Des and I were just talking before we went live. Oh, man, I've got a day ahead of me of so much stuff to do. So I hear you, Vix. Hang in there. Hopefully month-end will be over soon. Yes, Bono. Hey. You've said there, Sibo here. Oh, it's Sibo. Okay, Sibo. So nice to have you join us. Hope you guys had a great day. Had a good day, Sibo. Just too much to do. That's all. I had a good night's rest now, but it's early morning for us. What have you said there? I fixed up my experience like you suggested. Thanks for the tip. Oh, Sibo, I love that. When are you actually coming out here? Remind me again, Sibyl. I know you're coming out here to do some job hunting. So I'm guessing, I can't remember. It was in the next couple of weeks or something, wasn't it? From what I remember. What do you say? Okay, cool. Geez, I'm trying to keep up with chatting with people. Des, I can't multitask. I told you the guy thing. It's a problem. I'm trying to read the chat and see what people are saying there, but I'm also trying to keep my train of thought and everything. In about two or so weeks, Sibyl. Oh, okay, cool. That's awesome. Oh, it's still going to be a little bit cold for you. Make sure you bring some warm stuff and all the rest of it. I promise you can see the way I'm dressed today, same as Des. It's really fresh at the moment, for sure. So, but it'll be great to have you here for sure. I think Shantae has also joined us as well. Am I right? Shantae, are you online? I think you're online. If you are, just say hi. I want to announce something. If you're here, I'm just hoping that you are. While we're waiting to see if Shantae is actually online and joining us, has joined us. Yep, she's here. Hey, Shantae, so nice to have you with us. So I'm going to say it because I'm so excited. Shantae and them, they're all set. They got their visas and they're going to be here in a month. So they're actually coming to join us in New Zealand, which is so exciting and so cool. Cannot wait to have them here. It's been a long haul, and I know I'm taking away a bit of your thunder here, Shantae, but I know you guys have been actually job hunting for over 8 months. So to finally get that opportunity has been huge, absolutely huge. So it is so cool that you guys are finally coming here. And I know it's Shantae, Habi, and her little one, her little boy. So it's the three of them that are coming across here in a month's time, which is so cool. We don't have our visas yet, Brett. We're in the process of getting it. Oh, yeah, but you got the job offer. So now with the job offer, we know we'll be able to get the visa. Sorry, Shantae. Okay. See, I'm just so excited, but I just know the biggest hurdle there is getting that job offer. Without that, it's like the chicken and an egg. So many people out there, when you want to go for the interviews, they don't want to interview you because they always say, oh, no, you got to have a visa or the rights to work or whatever in New Zealand. But you're like, I need the job offer to be able to get the rights to work and everything. So it's like really the chicken and egg, and it's so hard. So Shantae, that's why I'm so excited that you've got to that point where you finally got the offer. So I know you're going to get that visa now and you're going to be here. So it's really, really cool. Really awesome. Maybe one of the things I wanted to share this morning is Des and I have been meeting with a couple of people, and I know one of the biggest challenges for everybody, and I've said it before in a lot of our other lives, is really trying to find that job offer. But There is one thing I just wanted to say, and it's a bit of a hard one to say, is that there has been a lot of people that have been chatting with Des and I and trying to, the expectation is almost that if you're on the green list, it's going to be easy and you'll be able to get a job like quick. And another expectation is that if you've signed up with an immigration agent, they're going to find that job for you. And I just really wanted to, and I know it's as hard to hear this, the truth is those immigration agents, I don't know of any immigration company that actively goes out and does the recruiting and finding the job for you. I could be wrong, Des, but I don't know of any. Yes, they might guide you. Yes, they might help you and give you guidance and support. But the onus is on us as immigrants to go find that job, okay? It's for us to work out how we can get noticed. It's for us to get in contact, build those connections. It's for us to start applying for all those jobs, being diligent, and actually finally getting that job offer. It's not anybody else that's going to do it for us. Even going through recruiters, I can tell you that's also what's come up a lot. And I'm just trying to set the record straight on a couple of things, is the recruiters themselves as well. Yes, there's some good recruiters out there. Don't get me wrong. There's some phenomenal recruiters out there. But a lot of them, what they are going to be doing is, if they've got candidates that have got the right skill and everything like that and are in country, they're just naturally going to prioritize those people. They're going to put them forward first. They've also got clients that are looking for a certain skill. And if they've got that skill in country and ready to go, they're going to put that person forward first. It's just logical. They would put that person forward first to whoever their client is and get them working as soon as possible. It's also the responsible thing to do. You've got people that are in country at the moment that don't have work. You've got to try and get them work as well. It's just the right thing to do for New Zealand, for our economy and everything here. I know it's a hard truth to hear, but it's something I just wanted to bring up. And it's not to make you despondent, and it's not to tell you that it's not possible and you cannot get work here. You can, you really can, okay? But it's gonna take work. There are opportunities here, but it takes a lot of work. Are there opportunities for everyone and every single type of job set? Unfortunately not. Immigration is not going to be for everyone. Okay, that's also the hard part. That's why they have something called a green list. The green list is where we are short on skills. I promise you, when I said it in the community earlier, there was a post that went out. There's a guy by the name of Ernest. He's a paramedic. He's going to be joining us here in the next month as well. We are short on medical skills in a lot of areas, be it paramedic, nursing. You don't want to even hear, I could sit here and talk with Des and tell you how difficult it is to get a doctor's appointment with a GP here. It takes sometimes weeks to get an appointment. And that's something that is not necessarily the greatest thing about New Zealand. Are they doctors? Yes. Are they good? Do they care? Yes, they do. Public sector, does it work? Yes, it works. It's a bit slow, but it works. Okay. But there's not enough doctors here. There's not enough nurses here. There's not enough of certain specialists here. So I know I've got onto my soapbox a little bit and I've been a bit preachy this morning, but it's just something I really wanted to share with you guys and just lay it straight that, you know, it is on us to really go and do that job hunting and finding those jobs. It's tough, but it can be done. Okay, so that's why we're here to share some tips, tricks, if there's any questions around it. So putting it out there, guys, if there's any questions that you want to throw at us, what are your challenges? What is your biggest challenge at the moment? Or what's the biggest thing on your mind at the moment? Or what is something that you really want to know about New Zealand or the journey here? Ask us, please. We're watching. I am multitasking. I'm trying to watch the chat at the same time, and we'll answer any questions that you may have. Des, I don't know, with what I've said now, does it...
I wanted to add to that.
Yeah.
So I've also had quite a few meetings where the impression is that they've paid for a CV to be written professionally in the New Zealand format. So they're going to use it as is in as many positions as they apply to. They apply to 50 a day and they're just using that CV. And I said to them, your CV should be a living document. And they looked at me like I was very strange because they've spent all this money to get the CV in perfect order and they're not touching it. The way I explain it to people is when you're looking at an ad, they're looking for very certain skills. They're saying to you, I want this person to be able to do A, B, and C.
Yeah.
If A, B, and C is sitting right at the end of your duties, a recruiter or an employer who's doing a quick scan of your CV is not even going to get to the part that shows them that you're the ideal candidate for the role.
Yeah.
So your CV should be a living document. I'm not saying don't have your CV professionally written if you want to, but what I am saying is don't be scared to change it up. Go into your CV. Every time you apply for a role, go highlight the things that are important to the employer, because those are the skills that might be sitting in the 5th or 6th place in your position description. Go put it right on top. Highlight the fact, hey, I've actually previously worked on roles in similar backgrounds. I've specialized in these areas. Your CV should be a living document, and the same with your cover letter.
Yeah.
Your cover letter shouldn't be a recap of everything that's in your CV. The employer is going to see your CV. It should highlight what they were looking for in the position that you're applying to, absolutely. But then it should go one step further. It should explain what you've achieved in your roles and how that's pertinent to the role and why you would be the best fit for that role. Yeah. And show off the fact that you know a little bit about the company. It makes a huge difference if an employer is looking at a cover letter and can see, hey, this person actually knows what my company does. They've taken the time to actually understand the role.
Jeez. Des, you're preaching to the converted, but I also know it's hard. Let me just take a step back before I answer what you've just said now. There's a lot of people that might be online right now and listening and saying, but it's so hard and I've paid a lot of money and, they were the experts. Why did they misguide me? Why didn't they tell me this and whatever else before I spent a lot of that money? And I know that can be tough as well. But I promise you what Des is saying is, it is so true, guys. If you really want to stand out, that is something you got to do. I did a podcast interview. I've got my podcast, Soft Landing Podcast. There was a GM, a general manager here in New Zealand that I interviewed. It was a couple of months back. And one of the things I was trying to get into his mind about was, what is he looking for as a hiring manager as well? Over and above me being a hiring manager, I thought, let me talk to some others. And when I was chatting to Andre and he was unpacking it, one of the things he told me is that on the CV, he called it stacking your skills. Okay, so over and above what Des said now is you go read that job offer and you see on the job offer, what are they actually looking for? What are the keywords? What is the pain that they're hiring a person to try and address? Make sure you talk to that, because that's going to make you stand out. But he said also then go stack your skills, because then you could show and you customize that every single time you apply for a position. You can't use the stock standard, same one, same generic, same carbon copy every single time. It's a separate version of your CV with those stacked skills and addressing that position that you've applied for, and a cover letter that is your sales pitch. That is all about you. That's the elevator pitch of saying, why me? Why should I choose this person? And that's where Des is right, where you're tying that into the research you've done about that company, researching their values, researching what's important to them, trying to tie it into that so they know, oh, geez, this person has actually really taken time to understand what our company is about, what our values are about, what we're actually looking for, what potentially our pains are. So I just cannot stress that one enough. Really, it's so important. It's hard. It's a lot of work. I know that, but it is something that I promise you, it works. It absolutely works. I did it for, and I gave the example in the Coffee Connect yesterday, is when I was applying. I've been at the bank now for about 2.5 years. So it was 2.5 years ago. I get it. But it was when I was in country and I was shopping around to see, and I wanted to move. I'd been here for a year now and I wanted to move to a new company. And when I was applying, to example, for Te Whatu Ora, which is the Ministry of Health, I made sure that my cover letter was talking to when I was a paramedic. So yeah, in a past life many years ago, I did volunteering and everything back in South Africa. But I spoke to that because they're in the health sector and they're all about helping people in the medical field. And yes, although I'm in IT, I was relating that back. And I was able to get the interview and everything and meet with them. Yes, I chose not to work with them, which was great. And I'm so glad I did, because I was blessed enough to choose between two options. But shortly after that, they went through retrenchments and a restructure. So I was so grateful I didn't move across there. But the point I'm trying to make is, I got that interview. That's what you're trying to get, is just the interview. It's not the job first off, it's the interview. Anything you wanted to add there, Des? Des?
The only thing is, I would also say on LinkedIn, so take it a step further. When you're stacking skills in your CV, on your skills section on LinkedIn, you can add up to 100 skills. And it's one of the first things I think every client that has worked with me where I've done a review of their LinkedIn for them, they're going to say, Des told me to go and adjust my skills, add more skills. the reason for that, it allows up to 100 skills. Go and utilize it. Those are keywords that recruiters are looking for. So go and highlight all your skills.
Yep.
And if you find a new one while you're applying for a new job and you're like, hey, I actually didn't think of that as a skill, but it is a skill, I can do it, then go and add it to LinkedIn.
Yep.
It is something that is used here a lot by recruiters, using tools to search for certain words. Make sure you're highlighting all of the important skills on your LinkedIn as well.
Yep. No, that's a very good point, Des. And I know that even although they're using it to, it's almost like they're using it to shortlist. So if you've got the keywords, they're trying to shortlist to get a honed in pile of applicants they want to look at. It's still, I know a lot of people say it's all AI and AI just chucks you out. In my experience, AI is helping with a lot of the shortlisting and helping us where to focus, but they're not chucking a lot of them out. At the end of the day, it is recruiters that still decide, all that hiring manager. So I'm telling you, put this in your CV, your cover letters. It genuinely does help. I'm just looking at the chat. Des, there was a question here, and I think it was Sibo that's asked one. She says, my sister lives in Taupo, but my connections and meetings are in Auckland. Is it worth it to get Airbnb? Please go to Taupo. It's beautiful, okay, if you can, just because it's a beautiful place to go. A lot of holiday makers go there. But for your benefit, Sibo, and what you're trying to do with connecting and meeting people in Auckland, I would go for an Airbnb personally, because that's quite a way to drive. And if you've got interviews and everything, I'm just thinking logically, in the morning in CBD, holy moly, I don't want to even try guess what time you're going to have to leave to try and get there. Like, I'm talking hours to try and get to CBD, unless they're online interviews. So I would definitely recommend the Airbnb. You agree, Des?
Yes, absolutely. And I was lightly informed it's called Taupo.
Oh.
Sorry, I've also been saying Taupo the whole time.
Oh, Des, you make me laugh. I've done some other TikToks as well, and there's a lot of Maori named places as well. And I know I butcher the names. I know I do. Okay, I'm definitely a foreigner when it comes to that. And I have had people that get quite upset with me and are trying to teach me how to say it. And it's just, yeah, it's just not sinking. I'm sorry. I know I butchered. So just say it again. How do you say it?
It's Taupo.
Taupo. Okay, so it's Taupo.
But yes, it's stunning, and we can't wait to see your photos by the Taupo sign. But definitely get accommodation for here in Auckland, because I can't imagine you getting the 4 hours of the drive plus any traffic and then still getting to a meeting on time.
Yeah, no, it's definitely beautiful place to go on holiday and sightsee, but not somewhere to, if you've got interviews and all the rest of it in Auckland, no, Sibo, that one's going to be a tough one for you. That one wouldn't work, no. You were just talking about the comment. You said, sorry, characters are limited. Should I look into getting accommodation for about a week? Well, it depends. How long are you going to be here, Sibyl? Sorry, that one's a bit of a tough one for me. When you're saying for a week, I don't know what you mean. If you're going to be here for only a week, then yes, only a week. Sorry, I'm being logical here. But if you're going to be here for 3 weeks, then you would need 3 weeks accommodation. So I'm just trying to understand your question. Sorry, Sibyl, don't laugh at me. But if you could maybe just try clarify there, and then I'll be able to answer that one. Oh my gosh. And the hikes, can't wait. Oh, the hikes are beautiful here. Getting out into the country here is beautiful. It's different, especially for those of us that are from Africa. I think we're blessed in Africa. Africa is beautiful, and with the wildlife and everything like that, and going out to the bush, I can tell you that's something I miss very much, especially this time of year, in the middle of the year, when it's cold like this. I loved nothing more than going with a family to the bush, and you'd have a bonfire or bushfire going, and you're sitting around the fire and you can smell that fire, and that's trying to keep you toasty warm when you're sitting out in the fresh cold, and then you can hear the jackals in the background and everything like that. And then you braaiing those marshmallows with the kids, and you bring out the hot chocolate. I promise you, that is memories for me, and I miss that a lot, and it's a lot of nostalgia. But I can tell you that it is beautiful here. It's got a different type of beauty going out into nature, and the hikes and the walks and everything, Sibyl, so it's really cool. Can I have some info about cost of living, in New Zealand? Cool. Auckland and Palmerston North, please. Cool, we'll get into that. And then you'll clarify, Sibyl, about your question about staying a week or whatever. I'm not too sure about that. Okay, cost of living, getting into that one. I know you're part of our community, so I'm actually going to send you some links in the communities for some videos to look at as well. I'm going to talk to it now, just briefly, but I know we don't have a lot of time to get into all of it. But I will send you a link to a video where I did an interview with Evandy. Evandy is a financial advisor here in New Zealand, and she's part of our community. She's a partner, but she's also an immigrant herself. So she's been through this process. And she actually did an end-to-end interview with me where she spoke about how much she feels you need to earn, not just to survive, but thrive here. She spoke about ways that you could do a little bit of cost saving. So she even taught me about, I think it's Costco and everything here. I know Pack and Save is where I'm talking about places where you can buy food. So she was talking about Costco is a way that you can save a lot of money. Otherwise, Pack and Save. She was just giving a lot of tips and everything like that, but also breaking it down financially, as well as we've even got a template for you to use, even a free template in our free portion of the community. I'll share all of that with you, Sibo, and remind me, ping me, don't let me forget. So I'll send you all those links. But talking cost of living wise, look, it's tough. A lot of people say that the cost of living, it's really tough here in New Zealand at the moment. It is. I think it's a worldwide thing at the moment. I don't think it's unique to just New Zealand at the moment. It's not easy. You got to make your buck go a little bit further. Then we got somebody that's got yellow hair and sitting just across the ocean in a country that is causing war with everybody else and making nonsense for all the rest of us. And pushing up fuel prices and whatever else, which has a knock-on effect for our food and everything else. So it is a little bit difficult here in New Zealand. But I think it is relative to what your positions are. Do you have one income? Do you have two incomes in the home? What are you spending your money on? You can make it work. You really can make it work. I'm not going to lie and sugarcoat it and say, hey, it's so easy. No, man, you're going to come here and you're going to be a millionaire and have so much money. No, it's still going to be tough. You're still going to have to work hard. Some of us even have to take a step back when we get a position here. So we earn a little bit less, and housing is very expensive. Rental is very expensive. But I can tell you it swings and roundabouts where you spend more on your rent or on your mortgage or whatever else when you're here. You spend less, and I'm talking from a South African perspective, in other areas. You don't spend money on security like you used to back home. Your medical, your insurance is a lot cheaper. I'm not saying it's cheap, but it's cheaper than what we used to spend back in South Africa. And I'm just talking from my experience. I'm not a financial advisor. That's why Vandy, I definitely recommend if you wanted to have a good chat with her and she could really tell you. But there is swings and roundabouts. I compare even food. When I compare food to South Africa started getting very expensive with food. It's not that cheap anymore either. So it's kind of relative. The only problem here is we are an island, literally an island. So we import a lot of stuff. So a lot of our food can be very seasonal. So sometimes things can get rather expensive, but it's dependent on the season. And I'll give an example is avocado pears. When I first got here, avos out of season, I think it was something ridiculous, like $10 for one avo. And $10, and I times it by the exchange rate, and I was thinking, that's like 100 Rand for one avo. Okay, well, I don't eat avos anymore, clearly. I'm not eating avos anymore. But once they came into season, they would drop dramatically in price. Same with lettuces and all kinds of vegetables and everything like that. They were very seasonal. I still also can't find, and now I'm really going down a rabbit hole, is gem squash. Gee, I miss gem squash. You just can't find gem squash here. It's just like they don't exist. That must be a very South African thing, for sure. There's anything you want to add there, but Sibo, I will send you the link so you can get a more in-depth review with Evandy.
Brett, I don't think it was Sibo that asked about the
wasn't it?
The cost of living. It was in Meow. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Oh, I'm so sorry. See, Des, that's why I need you here at 5:30 in the morning. You see, I'm even getting it wrong. I'm going to go emu. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I'm really sorry that I messed that up and I thought it was you, Sibo, but it was actually you. Sure, thank you. I'm single. If any concern, that would be bringing my cats along. Okay, so just explain that. So, Emu, I don't know if you're part of our community. If you are part of our community, ping me so that I can direct message me and or go into the ask the community section and just say, hey, Brett, you chatted in the live. You said you would share some links to some of that information that Evandy, our financial advisor, was sharing so you could get a better understanding of the cost of living. Please ping me or ask that question in the Ask the Community space. If you're not part of our community, the link is in my bio. Please go join our community. It's free, and there's a lot of resources I can share with you there. But it really is worthwhile listening to that video with her if you want an in-depth understanding of the cost of living here. And then I can also give you the download for all the templates for budgeting and everything like that here that are free. So you could get those as well. So yeah, with regards to your question about cats, we brought 2 of our cats over here. So we did bring our cats across. There's a process to follow with bringing your animals across here. There's a lot of pre-work. It took months of prep in South Africa, and it's rigid. A lot of stuff that you need to do with inoculations, documentation, a lot of stuff that you have to do with the build-up to getting them ready to be able to fly. It's also coordinating it and making sure that their air tickets and your air tickets and when they're arriving and when you're arriving, because they got to go into quarantine in the country before they leave in their home country. Then they have to go into quarantine when they're here. You have to arrange where you're going to fetch them from here. It's definitely possible. So to ask your question, you can bring your animals across. Is it easy? Just like everything else. It's a lot of paperwork, a lot of documentation, a lot of process, and it is quite costly. We brought our animals because they were like, it was awesome for our children. It was, they like support for our children to settle, not to mention probably my wife and I as well. They just, to have your animals with you, they're part of your family. I think it was worth every cent. The most expensive, rescue cats ever, because we don't have any particular breed, but they're so worth it and absolutely awesome. So you can bring your animals across for sure. Des, while I'm reading the chat, is there anything else you want to add there?
No, but I would probably recommend reaching out to Vandi in any way once you're on the group, just so that you can chat to her about pet insurance. I know she's also got fur babies or breeds. If you've got pet insurance, maybe you can make some recommendations, because it is one of the things that you have to do when you're here to register them and get insurance for them.
Yeah. So look, I leave a lot of that to my wife as well, but we are on a private medical insurance here, and a lot of your private medical insurances even offer pet insurance as well. Okay, so you can look into that as well. Look, it also does depend on your budget and whether you're on 2 salaries or not. So generally, when you come across on 1 salary, there are certain places where you hold back. So pet insurance might be one of them where you hold off until you've got 2 salaries coming in. But just like Des said, Vandi is a world of knowledge. She is absolutely amazing. So when you're at that stage where you are moving, like Shantae, I'm sure you're probably meeting with her. She can help you with guiding you because she's done it. She understands the journey. So she knows what's important at what stage of your journey to start thinking about financially and what can wait. And that's what I love about Vandi. She just gets it. So she can do that with us, which is really cool. Des, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing any of the questions in the chat now, because I'm already reading them wrong.
So Sibu was asking about the accommodation. If I can just jump in there. Sibu, I think with your interviews, I think it's really important to know that with South Africa, I think we have a lot of one-on-one interviews and then that's it. Whereas in New Zealand, it's not uncommon to have a second, third, sometimes even a 4th interview. So it's really difficult for me to say, yes, only get a week accommodation for the 3 months. That will be enough. I'd probably recommend that you do a week's accommodation for your first round of interviews, but I wouldn't be surprised you needing to arrange further accommodation when you're here, as and when further interviews come up down the line. So I wouldn't say a week would be far out, but I mean, maybe do it for a week initially. Try and do all your initial interviews in that space, but then don't be alarmed when they do ask for 2nd or 3rd round interviews, and then just, play it by ear as to how you arrange accommodation then.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, Des. Okay, it makes a little bit more sense now. Now I'm understanding what's going on. Look, it also depends on budget. I know it's difficult, especially for a lot of us from other parts of the world where our currency is very weak, because I know it costs us like literally 10 times the amount when we're traveling to places like New Zealand. So that can be hard. I'm just checking. I don't think there's any. Sure, I'll check out the bio. Thanks, Emir. It'll be great to have you in the community. That's hard. They're family. Yep. Animals are definitely family. Agree, Sibo. I think I just have to look into getting some cheap accommodation. Yeah. So you got to shop around and look for accommodation that is way more affordable. Look, Sibo, we had a challenge where, oh man, and I know that's one of the things that Vandi was telling us when we were first moving across here. So Vandi, she even meets with you once you've got like where you're at the stage like Shantae, where you've got your job offer and your visa's coming through. So now you're actually really starting to plan to move across. She met with us when we were still back in South Africa. She virtually met with us online. And she gave us a lot of guidance around our finances and budgeting and what we need to consider. And one of the things that she even, I don't know if you call it an emergency fund, a slush fund, a pot of money to dip into when things don't go according to plan. And I'm so grateful she gave us that guidance, because I can tell you when we were leaving, It was when we were at the airport about to board, we got a phone call an hour before we were boarding, half an hour before. My wife got a call. And it was to let us know that at that time of year in New Zealand, there had been floods, and we had arranged accommodation when we were going to land here. And they were just letting us know that it had flooded and it was not inhabitable, and we wouldn't have somewhere to stay when we got here. And that was an hour before we were boarding. So we were like, what now? We're going to get to New Zealand and not have somewhere to stay. So the point I'm trying to make is that slush fund, we had to pay for hotels. We had to then try find Airbnbs. We had to find other accommodation once we landed here, but it obviously hit our budget quite hard. So it was good to have that slush fund to be able to dip into, because we had to, because with my wife and I, bags under arms and 2 kids. And we landed at midnight, in the middle of the night, and we were like, okay, I guess we've got to find a hotel. So it was fun and games. Even trying to get your SIM cards and everything like that at midnight at the airport, running in and out of the airport using their wireless, trying to go outside, organize a bus or a taxi or whatever. It was fun, I promise you, fun and games. Any other questions? Let's see. Sibyl says, I think I just have to look into getting, cheap accommodation. Oh, sorry, I read that one already. So yeah, that's it. Cool. So I don't know, are there any other last questions? Otherwise, I know we've gone on the hour. Okay, cool. Then I just want to maybe end off with just telling everyone, first off, thank you so much for making the time to join with us. It's really awesome to have you guys join us. It makes it so much easier for Des and I when you guys interact, ask questions. We just want to help. And I love it when you guys join and ask questions. So thank you for all the questions today. We're really just trying to help point you in the right directions and try help you, just learn from us, do better than us, have a softer landing than what we did. So with that, if you can, and you're not in our community already, go to my link in my bio. Please join our community. We'd love to have you there. We're active in the community. We can answer questions for you in the community. We have a lot of resources available in the community, and we can help you there along your whole journey, from the very beginning when you're still even thinking about moving to New Zealand, to when you're at Shantae's space now, where you're about to get on a plane. And then we've even got some others that are already in New Zealand, been here for a couple of months to a couple of years. So it'll be great to have you there. You must all have a good evening, for those that it's evening now. Otherwise, have a good Friday and a good weekend. And we'll hopefully see a lot of you again in the community or next week. Keep well, everyone. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.